It's gonna be informal and you can use some abusive languages.
Okay. I used to play on the Indian circuit, but I never took it serious.
Don't put any copyright strikes.
I have survived because of you guys.
I'm not talking about the performance.
No one talked about the performance.
No, I'm talking about कैसे खेल रहा है?
Serious?
What is the condition of Indian darts right now?
I don't have anything against players in India. I don't think even they know what the selection process is. I was lucky I won. And I don't want to feel that at all.
Hello guys, welcome to the new show of Aficionado Darts Academy. It's called BULLSEYE UNPLUGGed. We have with us the main person what international people know about Indian darts, the Royal Bengal Nitin Kumar. Hello sir, welcome to the show.
Thank
This
you.
is the first show we are starting with you.
I'm gonna start.
So it's gonna be informal and you can use some abusive languages. It's like up to you whether you want to use it or not.
Okay.
And I think some people in this industry deserve that, right?
Always.
So the first question I wanted to raise is how your career started as a darts player. Like, when was the time you had this in mind that I will continue being a professional player?
Totally different things. Two totally different things. First, started playing when I was a kid. Very young. Mom and dad used to play a lot of cards. So we used to have weekend outings where we'd go to family friends' places, and mom and dad used to play rummy and blackjack and stuff like that. So it was a good 10 family kind of rotation that used to happen every month, go to different places. Actually, one of the times there was a new addition to that whole circle, and a gentleman by the name of Chowdhury, he's the first person who taught me darts. He used to actually play darts. So everyone went to their place to play darts, and there was an actual dartboard. So somehow, when everyone was distracted and playing cards, I took the darts. I damaged his ball, and I thought it was cool. But after seeing what was happening 1 hour, he came and then he was like, you know what, don't touch the darts. I'll teach you how to throw. But then casually just told me to go and play with the game. So seeing that, mom and dad, I think, felt a little sorry for him, and they're like, no, just teach us how to play. So dad, of course, he found out that you play darts in the bar and you can go and drink. So dad took it up. Mom took it up because it's a stress reliever. I mean, you have my dad and then you have me and my younger brother. So to handle that stress, she took up that. And I just saw playing with them at home. They put the darts in my hand when I was 11 years old. This is, of course, when I started showing little responsibility that I won't kill my brother. Started like that. Played my first tournament when I was 14. Weirdly, I won the tournament, and there were some really good players. Won that tournament because I think it was because people felt that I was a kid and they just took me like. And won the first tournament. After that, college started. But I used to play on the Indian circuit, but I never took it serious. I wanted to be a professional basketball player and everything. Of course, there also is a place and time for you to do that. No one becomes a professional basketball player in India. I'm not a cricketer and stuff like that. So that was something that I think I was young and dumb. I didn't realize that. And once I knew that had faded away, darts was the best option.
So you have done your schooling and college in India?
School in Dubai. I did my university, my undergrad and postgrad in Coimbatore, PhD College of Arts.
So that time you got introduced?
Yes, that came over here. At that time, I think there was social media website called Orkut. So through that, went on to All India Darts Association. There was a group. Just found out that, oh my God, there are actually people who play darts in India. Casually came to Kolkata for the first ever tournament. It was a horrible trip, but it was good to at least find out that darts are there in India.
Do you remember any glimpses of your first tournament?
I remember once I reached maybe the quarters that people were saying this guy is 15 years old, he shouldn't even be inside a bar, and they were trying to get kicked out because it's illegal to be in a bar if you're underage, you're below 21 in Dubai. So, however, my mom and dad had already gone through this, and they got permission and all, saying that he will strictly be supervised and he'll only be drinking Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mirinda, and so I had proof that I was only drinking Coke at that time. And then they couldn't say that. They just lost that.
The brands who are watching this, Coca-Cola, Pepsi and all, please don't put any copyright strikes. We are just making a friendly content.
I have survived because of you guys. Yes.
And as you mentioned, you used to play basketball as well. So, what is that one thing which took you to this sport rather than basketball?
It was two different, totally different things. It was darts was with family, basketball was with my mates, as they say. Of course, friends come and go, family stays. So that way, darts has stayed. Of course, the older you get, injuries do pile up, and I can name maybe 35 parts of my body that are broken through basketball. Darts, other than a muscle being broken here and things going on there, nothing else hurts. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Darts good that way.
So the next question comes, your appearance in the World Championship and World Cup of Darts. I think you're the only person who has appeared most of the times on that stage.
Yeah.
Except for in World Cup of Darts, 2 times Amit performed and thank. So how was that experience? Like,
Amit playing? Oh.
no, I'm talking about
Okay, yeah, totally different things. It was a wonderful learning experience because darts is a very singular sport. You play singles, and double format is very different. And this year's World Cup of Darts, which was the first time that they held it as a fully double format, I think maybe pushes it to being maybe the second best tournament in the year after the World Championships. It's a very, very different format. We are sort of used to it because the BRC and lots of tournaments in India have the doubles format rather than only singles, of course. So it's very different. Develops a lot of camaraderie. You're playing with friends. You're sometimes playing with enemies. Who knows? You might hate the player, but he's a good dart player. You play with them. So it happens a lot like that, unfortunately. Yeah. So I've played with a lot of people like that, and at the end of the day, they play good darts, so play.
I was talking about how was your World Cup. I think you represented in 2014.
2014.
Yeah, against Belgium. And
14,
2015 against Germany when
Yes.
you partnered with Ashfaq Sarjan.
Yes.
So how was that experience? Like, there is something in your mind that you are representing the country for the very first time. I'm not talking about the performance. We all know how it went.
No one talks about the performance. There are certain things that are swept under the rug and it stays there. But no, representing a country is something that I really hold very dear to my heart. It's weird coming from a person who stayed a majority of his life outside of India. I've studied here and everything, but I'm representing a country. I'm not even going to count how many people are there. I'm not even going to say the number. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it increased by 2% already by the time I'm saying it. But when you're representing a country like this and that many people, weirdly also representing 99% of the population doesn't even know about darts.
That's
Alright, so when that unknown is there, it's a very unique position to be in. And again, the dream is always to be a world champion. The dream is to do something for the country. Alright? Weirdly in darts you can't do that. You're not playing for your country, you're playing for yourself. No one cares. I mean, I wouldn't say no one cares, but no one states that this person from England has won or this person from Wales has won. They talk about the person. The country is just swept aside. It's only in the World Cup of Darts where you play doubles where it's the country that comes to. So in that way, it's in this tournament that it's very, very important. That where the country's flag is flying high and all that. But it happens once a year. And that shows, I think, how singular the game is. Experience-wise, it's something that happens once a year again, so it's always there on your mind when you go for it. However, it's a doubles tournament, so you don't always get to choose your partner.
So if you get to choose between you representing in World Cup and representing in World Championship, what is that one thing which you will choose? Because what I remember is in 2018 the India qualifier happened for the World Championship, and the time you won, that was the first time I saw you play.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So how was that feeling? Like you're actually going to represent the country now.
It was good because I know that now whether I perform well or I perform bad, I get to control the fate, and I don't need to be. But do I have extra pressure on myself depending on my partner? To be honest, that's basically it. We haven't been fortunate enough, I would say, to have the best pairing in any particular year that actually represent India in the world. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. It's either selection criteria or my amazing visa luck and stuff like that. So, whenever we actually get the best pairing is when I think the rest of India will actually wholeheartedly support. Till then, it's always going to be factions and always. So yeah, playing alone, there's a lot more pressure on yourself, but there's a lot more pressure that's taken off because you don't care about what another person is doing. You just do it your way.
Speaking about the World Cup, there's very one incident happened in 2022 World Championship, and everyone in India and all over the world saw you wearing the UAE flag on your muscle portion. Everyone
Very
in
small
India.
portion, the shirt is big.
Yeah, but the UAE flag was visible at that time. So at that point of time when we were watching the match and everyone else in India, we felt really bad. And including myself, that the name Nitin Kumar has an Indian flag, but in your jersey there is a UAE flag and nowhere the Indian flag was there. So was there any specific reason? And I want to know what exactly happened, because I also know this that a lot of things happen because of your visa and immigration rules.
Yeah.
So what exactly happened there?
First thing, I work in UAE. Alright, that has nothing to do. I don't care about that. That in that way, they don't help me in that way. Yeah? So if I work in the States, I'm going to wear American flag. No, I'm not going to do that. I work over there. We have a lot of organizations, the whole world knows which organizations are screwing around. I've been lucky enough to put it on Facebook and people have noticed, because till then it was just us shouting and saying, telling, guys, we're getting screwed over here. And the people are like, no, don't be crybabies. And once, a few articles came out, they were like, seriously? That's what's happening? So yeah, these things, I think you guys can just go on Facebook or screw it, just go on YouTube or Google, you'll know. But yeah, people like that go there. And unfortunately, they are the ones who run the qualifier as well. So, when you go and qualify, right, I feel this is an amazing money-making tactic. Though, if you want to go into a short-term investment and stuff, get 100 players, alright, charge them 5,000 rupees, okay, make your 5 lakhs over there, alright, the winner gets a spot to go to the World Championship. You don't get any prize money, thank you very much, bye-bye. Alright, so that is something which doesn't make sense at all. Unfortunately, that happened. So it might not hurt a lot of people here, but unfortunately, the tournament is happening in Surat. Alright, and Surat, unfortunately, is not easy to travel to. It's bloody expensive. Alright, I come from Dubai, so it's a lot more easier for me also to travel. So I spend that much more money. Alright, and for the World Championship, qualifying and going to the World Championships is also pretty expensive because it's in UK. Alright, getting the visa is not cheap. And since I work in Dubai, I'll need to save up close to around 4 to 5 months just so that I can do that one trip. Right? So I don't get help from the federations who organize it here. You don't help with the visa, you don't help with getting the letters, right? Lots of things like that. And weirdly, we have to put the federation's logo right here. I'd rather put the Indian flag.
Yes.
But I can't. Because on the paper, when you register, put over there in bold that you have to only put the organization's logo here. So I don't think they care about the Indian flag being on it. Because I'd rather put the Indian flag. I don't want your name. I don't play any of your tournaments. I play your tournament because it's a qualifier for the PDC. I want to go to the PDC. You're giving me the pathway there. So you want to show off to the world that you are given the pathway? Cool, alright. Fine. So that is there. So in that way, alright, I'm forced to put that. On your jersey, you have 4 logo shots over here, you have 2 more over here. So you have 6 shots, in which 2 are taken by the PDC, which is of course PDC and the organizers of the World Championship, which I think at that time was the William Hill logo.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I think at that time I used to play for Target, so Target logo had to be there. I had 8 flights, so another 8 flight logo had to be there. Those are my sponsors for my equipment. So I have 4 taken already, I have 2 more. I don't make money out of any of this. At the end of the day, I'm spending that much money to go there. One goes to IDF at the time. Hopefully it won't stay for long, but it goes to IDF. And their logo is there. Their logo is there. And so I don't make money out of any of this. So it's basically coming out of my savings. Right? If you, I think it's not only them. Whoever organizes such a tournament, it's their responsibility, because you are an organization that's helping Indian ducks. Alright? And if there's a person who's going to play in the World Championships, it's your responsibility to assist them in any way you can. But you don't care. Fine, you got your money already through the tournament, so it's okay. So if it's not your job and you can't do anything about it, or you don't want to do anything about it, the other option is I have 1 logo left. Alright? And it's about timing, yeah. The tournament happened in December. Alright? I struggled a lot with visa issues. I literally got my passport an hour before I had to leave for the World Championships. So if I didn't, I had already written a letter to the PDC saying that I'm going to withdraw. The draws had already happened. They would have had a lot of losses and all that stuff because of viewership and all that, because it's already there. But I was going to be playing Ricky Evans in the World Championships. It was already there on Sky. So they of course don't want that to happen. So I wasn't helped because of that. That delay happened. At that time, the UAE Darts Federation, I play in Dubai, and I am a member of the UAE Darts Federation who organizes tournaments. I can never represent the UAE because I don't have a passport. According to how people for some reason don't understand that if you don't have a passport, you can't represent another country. At that time, since I played for the UAE Darts Federation, I played under the UAE Darts Federation, UAE, they were lucky enough to say that, you know what, if you're having an issue to go for this, you can at least play for your flight ticket. So, since they said they'll be paying for the flight ticket, they said, you know what, we'd like our UAE Darts Federation logo to go on there. I said, fine, cool. That's the least I can do. You're at least paying me money. And this is going to help me to at least attend the tournament. So that happened. However, the UAE Darts Federation is a government body. Alright? And the approval of the UAE Darts Federation hadn't happened. Again, you can check it out on Instagram, go on UAE Darts Federation or whatever. Check over that. The inception for the UAE Darts Federation literally happened just before Christmas, so the 23rd or 22nd of December. My match was on December 13th or 14th. So since that official opening hadn't happened, I couldn't put the UAE Darts Federation logo there. And they just said to me, put the UAE flag. What can I say? You're giving me the money, I'm going over there to play the tournament. You're the only one who's helped me. Cool, now I got to take care of myself now. So I did that. But again, to people who feel bad about it, it's okay. Help me next time if you can. If not, I still qualified. I'm okay with it. People feel bad, they feel bad. Weirdly, I'm at least going there. I'm a lot more patriotic than people think. But maybe this goes down the right way or the wrong way. My life and my personal self taking care of myself sometimes is a lot more important than being paid.
Another incident happened recently that the name was announced for World Cup of Darts. The two players who were selected were Prakash Jiva and Nitin, that is you. But all of a sudden, the news came up in the Indian dance circuit that you couldn't be able to go there. Because what we have heard from here is because of your own mistake. That you haven't applied it on time and now you are not getting appointment for the meeting. And because of which you couldn't be able to. At that point of time, what exactly happened? Because we all know what news tells us. We don't know your side of the story, which is why I raised this. What exactly happened there?
Like close to around 3 months before the tournament, around that time, I think after the Bahrain Darts Masters where I went and played. I played really bad over there because I had a broken finger, yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, we all know that.
Some people choose to not know that. And
कैसे खेल रहा है?
I had a broken middle finger. I couldn't use it for anything, including playing. Alright, so anyway, got a message from the BDC saying that as of that time I was playing pretty decent on the Asian tour. Okay, Prakash Jiva was honestly done fabulous, by the way. Was definitely going to get the first spot because he qualified for the World Championships. I was doing decent on the Asian tour, so it's pretty obvious that I was going to be the second selection. So we got the message saying that, are you both willing to pair with each other? And myself and Prakash got on call together, and we were really happy because I honestly feel that this was the best pairing we could have had for India. I got excited, of course. He was excited. Had a drink that night, so good day. However, once we weren't allowed to announce, of course, because of course the PDCs are going to announce. By the time the names were announced, once the names were announced, only then can you get your invitation letters. Names were announced, and we got our letters around a week just before that. Once I get the invitation letter, only then can I apply for my visa. I can't just go and apply for a visa. Unfortunately, in the UAE at least, 26 or 27 countries are there in the Shenzhen state, and none of them had appointments because June 15th was the tournament. It would take a 15-day lead time once you give your passport in to get your visa done, processing done. It would take 15 days. So latest I needed my appointment at least before June 1st.
What is Shenzhen's?
The group of countries that have the Shenzhen visa. Germany, Netherlands, France, Italy, all of them. So there are around 26, 27 countries which don't include UK, don't include Russia, right? Most of them. So I needed an appointment date before the June 1st and didn't get anything till October 18th. I have my appointment on October 18th, by the way. So I can apply for next year's World Cup. Right? And despite me sending tons of emails to everyone, and also not only PDC Germany butting in, but even actually PDC butting in. I can't name names here, but pretty big guys were sending emails, and we just got cancelled basically to a limit where questions arise saying that if this was the Olympics, then we might have looked at it in a different way, but just because it's darts and not an Olympic sport and not a world-renowned sport in that way, numbers-wise, that you're okay with it being that. So it went to that, and also of course at the end, the last reply we got was, if we hear anything about the name Nitin Kumar again, we're not even going to reply. So that happened May 14. May 15th, literally 1 month before the World Cup, I told the PDC that this is the reply we have got. You're not going to get a better reply, I'm not going to get a better reply. I don't want to be banned for life. As long as World Cup's happening in Germany, I'd like to give that a chance. I want to apply again next year. So I told them, at the end of the day, 2014 we played, 2015 we played, and we are lucky to get another chance considering our 2014 and 15 performances. Yeah, that's for sure. We don't deserve a chance. Okay, I can name tons of countries that are better. Okay. However, I do understand PDP is a business model. You get a lot of viewers. India is like that. You do that. In that way, financially, it makes a lot of sense to them. And of course, I'm going to be greedy. I'd like to play in that stage.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll play. Alright. We can't lose a spot like that. And I think on May 15th, I had to take the decision. I was really sad. I drank that day as well. So on May 15th, I had to actually send them an email saying that I'll have to withdraw and you guys will have to look at someone else. You have 1 month. They said, alright, we'll do it. And Amit turned out to be the second player.
So the lot of doubts were clear. And speaking of which, the World Cup, after your incident happened, the team was announced. It was Prakash Jiva and Amit Gilitwala. Prakash Jiva was selected before with you. Amit Gilitwala's name came after your thing happened. And what I remember from the 2021 World Championship, the same thing happened. The COVID situation was there, and the name suddenly came up. The World Championship players were announced in Instagram. The Indian player Amit Gilitwala. So I wanted to know, as World Championship always happens through the qualifier, India qualifier. So no qualifier happened because of the COVID, and suddenly a name came up, Amit Gilitwala. So how this, if you know how this process goes on, like how the player was selected, if there is no such qualifier, because in World Cup there was no qualifier. You and Jiva were selected by PDC. Then if you came out of the picture, why Amit was selected? There is nothing against Amit, he is one of the good players in Indian cricket. But why him? That was my question.
I don't think even they know what the selection process is. That's basically it. 2021 was very funny because the World Championship, before that, I qualified. Right?
Played against
Brendan Dolan, yes. Thankfully, I played good. I was prepared for that, I was ready for that. So, played good, that helped me a lot. Then, of course, COVID happened. Everyone has suffered through COVID. So, of course, it's us also. We also had to go through that. No qualifier happened. But then, again, Amit going in was very funny because I won the previous qualifier. Again, it was a call they took, and they got enough backlash also from the world, because that's when the whole world knew what all was happening, because it's online.
Who are they? Like PDC?
IDF.
IDF.
No, it's not PDC at all. PDC, at the end of the day, they give a particular organization power to run things, and that's their partner, right, in that country. So if they spoke, they spoke. It's not only India, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in most countries, of course. It's happening everywhere. At the end of the day, though, they look at the best talent because that talent is a representation of the country. At the end of the day. Alright, I have, again, categorically stated that I have no problem with Amit as a player. I think he's a wonderful player. I don't think he goes to the PDC and chooses not to play as well and just not care. No, I do know that everyone are patriotic. They want to represent their country at the best level, in their best form. They want to do that. However, it's not right to actually just send people for the sake of favoritism, which the world knows is nothing new that I'm stating. I just have a pair and I can state it. I know I can state it. Alright, that was there. And for this, of course, this time I have no idea about selection process again, but I'm pretty sure the PDC would have gone back to IDF saying, this is what has happened with Nitin. He can't come. What's going to happen? Now, I also found out, not through anyone, but I also found out online that Amit was there. Doesn't make sense again because Amit hasn't played in India since 2019.
Yeah.
He hasn't played since 2019.
I think the last tournament which he played was the India qualifier.
Which he lost on English. Very bad.
No, that one was Pune.
Oh, he lost there also very badly. No, but no. To be fair, of course, he played a bad game and he lost. At the end of the day, that happened. I get thrashed a lot of the times. I don't care. It's something that you have to learn in darts. That darts is if you play on song for 15 minutes, no one's gonna touch you. If you take some time to pick up and someone else is on song, you're gonna get thrashed. That's how it is. So, which is what makes the world's best the world's best. They can play like that for 5 hours straight. We can play like that for 10 minutes straight. Simple as that. So yeah, sorry. Coming back to this, I also found out looking at it online. He hasn't played since 2019 in India, so it's a little funny that. Alright, I do know if you're looking at the India qualifier as a benchmark, Prakash Jiva definitely won. Alright, I was second. If that was under criteria why they chose me, fine. If not, I was playing the Asian Tour as well. I'm doing pretty okay in the Asian Tour, and that was the selection criteria, so I came in. But whatever happens right after that, whoever the semi-finalists, they should have gotten a call, something like that.
Yeah,
so
it was Mohan Goyal
yeah.
who lost to Prakash Jiva, and it was Vikas Patari who lost.
Yes, so they haven't got call. And to be honest, Mohan and Vikash have been doing really well since we have gotten out of COVID. They've been playing really well, and of course, it's not just that, they have been national champions and they have been India #1 before COVID as well. So I feel they could have at least been asked. It doesn't seem right again, but now again you start thinking a little more in detail. It's weird that I say this, but me being a person who has lived majority of his life outside India, me being from Tamil Nadu, which is not that big of a dart playing state. We do have players, of course, but not that big of a dart playing state. And you have organizations that are pit against each other. It's very, very easy to look at this and say it's favoritism because Mohan and Vikash are players from Kolkata and Amit is a Gujarat player. At the end of the day, with regards to this, I have no problem. I'm happy that India hasn't lost this. And there's always next year. Prakash is only going to get better, I'm only going to get better, and whoever else is fighting for these two spots will have to come through me and Prakash. And if they do, kudos to them, because I know they are going to do as good as possible. They're going to be better as well. So next year we're only going to be better and we're going to do good. I don't want to say this, but I stay outside India and I'm going to look at it like this. And the rest of the world is going to look at this if you make decisions
just
like
your
that.
opinion.
Yeah, that's it. People are going to look at it like this. And the thing is, when selections are made, they don't back it up with any logical thinking. And if we are going to be talking about logical thinking, then 2021 was a good example. I don't have anything to say. However, again, end of the day, if this was a choice they had to make in the last minute, alright, you do have to think that maybe Mohan and Vikash would have struggled to get the visa in time. Amit was right there. We can't lose our spot. So, yes, Amit is a phenomenal player. He's a great player. I have nothing against him as a player. But, yeah, that's just how it goes.
Okay, let's just divert this topic.
Yes.
A lot of controversies happened. And let's talk about the thing you have mentioned, Asia Tour. So, you have been playing all the 18 Asia Tours?
No, I missed the first two, Japan and I think it was Korea, because of not getting leave from work. I do work, I'm not a professional, guys. I do spend my own money.
So apart from those, you're still at the 4th position of Asia Tour. So kudos to that. And I hope you secure the position in the top 4 only. So how was your overall experience in the Asia Tour? Because I think this is the maximum you have played compared to other previous years. 2 years there was no Asia Tour.
Yeah.
And now the Asia Tour is back, you have played the maximum. So what I have noticed through the sites and all, that some matches you performed really well, but you couldn't been able to take the game. And some matches you played pretty decent, not up to the mark, but still somehow you won that game. So how was that feeling is like, and how are you taking up this opportunity of Asia Tour in the near future?
To be honest, it's sort of like how it always has been. No? I've always played in Dubai. I always said that there were better players in Dubai. Alright. However, I have represented India as a country and I've played in India and I've won the national titles and state titles and all that stuff. Competition is competition at the end of the day. I don't have anything against players in India. There are tons of players who have wonderful potential. And in the 20 plus years that I've played here, I've seen people with tons of potential not do shit about it. Okay? And unfortunately, that is how it is. Because it's irritating when you see potential and people are like, I just don't care about the game. Okay, cool. That's fine. You do you. But at the end of the day, I have to stay true to myself. So, me going on the Asian tour and everyone plays good, everyone plays bad. They have their bad games, good games. Me, more often than not, I have a lot more bad games also because this is the first year that I'm actually playing against such competition. And weirdly, I like getting kicked in the ass enough. I have no problem at all. I love learning from it. I have still not yet beaten Lawrence. I love playing against him, but he thrashes me as well. But it's these games that you have to learn. And lots of people, of course, they feel bad, playing a good game and then losing. At the end of the day, the guy played better. You can't play a good game and lose. The guy has to play good, better. You can play a shit game and win if the guy plays shit as well. That's the whole thing. It's weird sometimes you play bad and you win a game and you're not satisfied. But if you play good, an amazing game and you still lose, you're satisfied. You know you did your best. But that is something that, for lots of years where, if I look back at the last 5 years right now, forget about the COVID years, yeah? If I look at the last 5 years now, I haven't lost before final in India. So I've reached the finals, I've either won it or I lost it. You go through me if you want to win.
Yeah.
Fine. But the players who have beaten me have played good. And lots of times I've played horrible as well and they won. But again, this is something again because maybe I played on the Asian Tour, I played in the World Championships, and I am someone looking from the outside, since I'm not in Indian darts, that Indian darts is just the first step that you take. So if you beat me in a finals, it's nothing. That's it. It's nothing because your national champions change every year, PRC champions change every year. At the end of the day, whatever you do right here, you go next step is the Asian Tour. You got to do something over there. After that is the World Championships. You got to do something there. I've gone through all this and I haven't been able to do much. If I don't play a good game, I know you deserve to lose. If I don't play a good game and I win, it's like I was lucky I won, and I don't want to feel that at all. It's just if people win, great. If you don't take it up, that's on you, because at the end of the day, it's funny when you actually say that, hey, you know what, I beat this guy and then I went on to the next tournament and I played shit. But the guy who I beat has gone over there and is being questioned by people. How the hell did this guy beat you? You're India's representative. You own it. And if you can't own it, you're not built for darts. Play chess. And trust me, don't play chess in India. Everyone are good here, they're going to thrash. That's it, as simple as that. This is maybe me being a basketball player who comes from a more physical game, me being this freaking big and intriguing and all, and people thinking, oh my god, once they look at me, they're scared. I'm the biggest baby over here. However, in darts, babies don't survive, they get eaten up. And you got to grow mentally. I haven't been able to grow mentally fast enough because I play in India. As simple as that. I need competition that's going to kick my ass every single day. And that's what I'm getting in the Asian tours. Some of these guys are just that good that when they play a bad game, they still care. If you have to go to the world, you have to do it.
Okay, speaking of this topic, my last question, which is like my favorite one. As I made the list, this is like I wanted to ask, and I want a genuine, honest answer. No filters, nothing.
No filters.
So my question is, what is the condition of Indian darts right now? Like, what if they are doing something wrong? What are they doing, and what they should do?
Where do I start? Alright. Player-wise, there are tons of players in India. There are enough players who take it serious. enough players who have the potential, and half the time it's because of me that their growth is stunted. So basically, I beat them in semis and quarters and all that when I know they could have maybe won the finals.
It's just a part of the game.
It is. That's the whole thing. But now the thing is, over here, I would say a national title in India gets talked about so much that I can tell right now that maybe a person who's only won a nationals once in the last 10 years is much better than a guy who's maybe won it 3 times and won tons of state titles. That's just how it is. That those kind of people never get talked about. Alright? There are tons of players over here who are that good and tons of players who have left darts because of the politics in darts. There are tons of politics in darts. This is something that I don't understand. If politics happens in Netherlands and the UK, I understand. Those bloody countries live on darts. Alright? In India, where you have itself only this much of a population that makes this much money out of darts, and in that also there's politics. There's politics in cricket, there has to be.
Yeah.
People want the money, there's lots of stuff going on, there's lots of favoritism and all that stuff. In darts, what politics can you do? So that you make 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs a year. Rather get a normal job and make 10 lakhs a year. No? Work for it. But people want easy money, and that is something that I don't understand. So that affects players. A great example of someone who was an amazing player and got stuck in politics and never actually made the jump to international darts was Amrish Singh.
Yeah.
He was an amazing player who I always wished we had on the team. And ever since I started playing darts in India, the only player I feared was Amrish. The only player. I have never. There was one time, there was this single time that I beat him, which was 2 or 3 years after he left darts and came and played. But whenever he did play, I'd always meet him in the finals and I'd always miss a finish and he'd always just come from behind and kick my ass. And it was mainly because I just was so scared of the guy. He was an aggressive player who was very intimidating, who really threw his darts like it would hurt the board. That's how he threw and that's how he played, that's how he carried himself. He was such a friendly, fatherly kind of figure.
Yeah.
And but he was totally different on the dartboard. He would kill you on the dartboard. He wouldn't care if you were his best friend or his enemy. You would not feel any different. And that's one thing. He left because of the politics of darts. He was that great a player. And those are just unfortunate things. I really looked up to him and I really thought that, you know what, there's a future. Maybe if you go for the Malaysian Open, because India does participate in the Malaysian Open a lot. Asian Tour wasn't a scene then. But if it was then, he was playing. There are lots of things we can dream of. There are tons of players who have seen, who have played really well, who have the potential to be that good and have dropped off in standard or have just left the scene totally. And that's a combination of, you know what, you don't make enough money playing darts. You don't get the recognition that you get, again, mainly because of politics, or there's just one player who gets everything. And the third thing is, it's a very mentally taxing sport. People don't understand that for you just to become that 1 inch better, you will have to lose so much so that you learn how to work on that. You need to have a lot of life experiences to actually be sort of decent players. You need to know how to take all that pressure and play. And this is all just me talking about India. I'm only talking about the world stage. World stage with people standing behind you and shouting and going mental. You're gonna break. You're gonna be like tissue paper just on the. I know there may be 1 or 2 people who can handle that pressure, who currently are in India. They are nowhere close to playing there. So, which is why honestly I feel the way Prakash played this time in the World Championships, getting a set of Razma and actually playing like that. Razma played an unbelievable, I think, third set or fourth set. I think third set. He just played insane, which I don't think Prakash could have matched. And that's different. And I don't think anyone can make that leap yet. Unfortunate that there's so many players who can do it, but they don't learn enough. People who have the knowledge don't pass it enough. There are very few people who are willing to pass on information and knowledge and learning whatever they have throughout the years. But there are enough people who want it the easy way, which sucks. So player-wise, these things are going to happen always. It's a growing sport over here. So the player-wise, it's fine. There's few. At the end of the day, those people who are few people who I said that are serious and have potential at the start, those guys are still going to lead the way. It's just motivating them that will be. And when you have organizations like people who I've already mentioned, and I'll have to mention it again because there's All India Darts Association who are amazing, IDF even more amazing, and right now, personally on my point, I think IDC, Indian Darts Council, are doing an amazing job. They have always done an amazing job. They've always been for the players. That's something that I've always followed because, again, I really don't understand the whole state versus state thing. Maybe because I have lived outside of India the whole time and I don't look at India as, oh my god, it's Tamil Nadu versus Kerala versus Andhra Pradesh versus Kolkata versus New Delhi versus Maharashtra versus Gujarat. I don't understand that whole concept. I play for India. I can be from Delhi or I can be from Tamil Nadu. I don't give a damn. But that's just how I've grown up. It might hurt a lot of people, but now my best friends are Pakistanis. We are neighbors. We used to play cricket together as kids. I have Somalian friends, I have American friends, I have Sudanese friends, I have Australian friends, I have Pakistani friends as well. But I don't care about government politics.
And most importantly, all the friends call you an Indian guy.
Yes, they all call me Indian. They don't look at me that, this guy is from Tamil Nadu, he sirf dosa hi khata hai. I'm sorry, during Eid I eat mutton with you, I eat biryani with you, I eat burgers with you, and you guys enjoy my food, I enjoy your food.
Yeah.
That's it, that's how it is. But maybe that's just because I have lived in that environment or grown up there. So that is something that I don't understand yet. And this being a root cause of organizations coming up like this and certain organizations thinking that they have the power, they can shove it down people's throats and do nothing else with that. You either do it our way or you don't get a spot. That is not a way in which you can grow a sport. That is very, very near-sighted and fickle-minded, I feel, and they don't have a future. So if the potential of Indian darts is going to be dictated by them, then I think we are dead. There's no more Indian darts. However, if there are people who actually sort of grow a pair, I think, and can actually think that, you know what, you can talk against these guys or at least act against these. I'm not talking about violence, but I'm just saying common sense, right? You get to play whatever tournament you can. You go and play it. All the open tournaments throughout Asia are open for a reason. You can go and play everything. The Asian tour is open to anyone who has an Asian passport, so you can come to any tournament. Why aren't people coming? Why do you say there are people who are 20-time national champions and are still proclaiming they are number one in India? There are tons of people who are number one in India. It's weird, right? I've gone to the World Championship so many times, I've won the qualifier, but there are still at least 7 or 8 people who claim to be number one in India. And I'm just sitting and looking, I'm like, wow, some guys have their own websites and some people who are 13 or 14 years old are professional dart players. Please study in school. Please study. Okay, darts is not going to do anything for you right now. Become an engineer, doctor. Okay, I'm not like your typical mom here. Do whatever you want in freaking life. But don't become a professional dart player at 13 years old. Okay, you are not Michael Van Gerwen. No one is Michael Van Gerwen. Alright, I am certainly not. Alright, I have gone through a very weird kind of way. I got into basketball, thought I'll be pro in that. Work. I still continue to work for Nike, which is an American company and has nothing to do with darts. Alright. However, they are a sports company and they encourage sports, which is the main reason why I'm sort of lucky in a way where whenever I go for tournaments, go and play. They know what it is. So in that way, my family has always backed me. My brother is the biggest backing right now. If I work a 9-to-5 job like everyone. Alright, going back and on certain days I just can't feel, I don't feel that, practicing every day is something that will help everyone. But there's just certain days where you want some time off. If I go to the second day and just not practice, my brother will come to me and say, "What the F are you doing?" He's my younger brother, yeah. So, but I don't care like that. He calls me by name, I call him by name. It's not like in India where an elder brother is only called Bhaiya and stuff like that. He's like, Nitin, why aren't you there? Yeah, respect is there in that because he sees that I'm slacking off and I can't afford to slack off because I know somewhere or the other there's a kid or someone at my level or someone better than me practicing for 3 hours and they have something else in their plan, which is maybe 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, they're practicing towards that. I might also have the same thing 3 or 6 months down the line, but I'm taking an hour off and a day off. And this is something that my brother can't handle. And yeah, that's the thing. Support is there. There are tons of people in India who support me. But there are tons of people who I know myself who show that they support me. And I'm 37 years old, not an idiot. Right? I know who actually support me. I know who actually back me. And the good thing is the people who support me and back me don't jump into the limelight and say, you know what, I'm his biggest supporter, this is what we do and that's what we do. They're quietly there. They know how to push buttons. They know how to push my buttons. They know how to get me irritated. They know how to get me pissed off. They know how to get me happy. They dictate that, but they don't dictate anything that I do in the dark. And that's something that I feel is amazing because I'm not influenced by any of this. I just go play. If you're good enough to beat me, beat me. Not, you do the next game.
That was an amazing podcast. So finally, we are going to wrap up here only. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure to interview you personally.
Thank you.
The Royal Bengal, Nitin Kumar. Thank you very much.
See you guys next time.
Peace out.